right, let's start with the projects. How are you guys feeling with the projects for now? Have you guys decided? Has anyone submitted the form? If you've submitted,
now.
All right, so Izul, you've submitted it. What about the rest?
Yes, I have submitted the form.
All right, Tiffany as well. Anybody else? Or
I think Al did too, because he put a thumbs up. Yep.
yes, I see it.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. What about the rest? Do you guys have any questions or you're unsure about the projects? You can please raise your questions now and I can answer them. Let's go.
Really quickly, so I chose which projects I want to do, like the individual ones and the group one as well. I just don't know. I'm on Airtable, but I just don't know how to like submit the. Do we have to go through the form, or can we just? I'm a little bit confused as to how do we submit our choices.
All right. Let me quickly show you guys how it is going to be done. Hold on.
That was my question last night.
Yes, that was Izul's questions last night. So let me quickly share my screen. So basically the link to the form is in your onboarding deck, right? Your onboarding deck is in the Google folder. So in your Google folder, if you click on it, you'll be able to see different folders inside. So select the onboarding folder and then select the onboarding deck, okay? Once you selected the Cool. So once you selected the onboarding deck, you'll have this link to this Airtable form, all right? So this is how you can refer to your projects, which is a separate table, which you can have a look, all right? So once you've gone through all the projects, blah, 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 you've selected 3 that you want, just go ahead and fill it up, okay? So like today, maybe your name, let's say it's Dylan, right? You click your name, and then you select, okay, the first option of my project would be, I don't know, let's say you want to do, I don't know, maybe you want to do launching an online VCC Leaderonomics Club for use globally, right? So maybe you want to do this, okay? But always double check whether it's a group project or an individual project, right? So for example, just now the youth one, okay, so it's an individual project, awesome, right? Maybe your second option, you want to do a Necole community building one, developing and grow women's empowerment. Maybe the third one could be something like L.com monetization strategy, okay? And then group projects, maybe you want to do, let's say you want to build and design for the corporate team, okay? So build and design, let's say build and design. Build and design, where is it? Okay, here, I know.
Andrea, I think it's pretty laggy, so like we can't really see what you're doing.
Oh, damn, okay.
Yeah, I think you're lagging a little bit, like a little bit delayed there.
Okay, so what can you see now on my screen?
Now it's the project, the group project. Okay, now it's the form. Okay.
Yes, okay. So basically, let me verbally explain it to you since you can't really see it. You look at the main Airtable for your form, and in that Airtable form, you would have a link to see all the projects, okay? Once you've gone through all the projects, list down 3 that you want. In the form itself, you just have to select your name, click add, there's an add button there, and then search for your name. Same thing with selecting your individual projects. Go ahead and click add and search for the name of the project, okay? And make sure they are individual projects and not group projects. And for group projects, vice versa, all right? Hope that is clear. Once you've done that, you submit. Okay.
All right. Sounds good. Thank you.
Cool. It's the same for coaches and mentors. It's the same style. Yeah. So just go ahead and do the same thing. Once you click add and you search for their names, or you click a drop down list, you'll be able to see the names of the coaches and the mentors. And that's how you do it. All right. Okay. Any more questions?
Andrea, can I have a question?
Yes. Go ahead.
It's specific to the project, especially the Necole, the content curation. So is the content will be published on certain channels, social media like Instagram or LinkedIn or anything else?
What's the name of the project?
The Necole Community Building.
Necole Community. All right. Okay.
Is it the Indonesian based one?
I think it's for everything, right?
Yeah, for the
community building.
Yeah.
Yes. So this information that this content base that you're curating will actually be published on Necole. It won't be published on social media or outside. It will be for the platform itself. So for example, let's say you're building a community for the creative people, right? For creatives. Then you would have to curate and build a content base. Like curating means finding content maybe online or in different platforms and then putting it on Necole and then and pushing it out on the group, right? So let's say you have a creative group, you want to push maybe articles on how to get over writing writer's block, or how do you start a creative process without feeling stressed. I don't know. It can be anything, right? So all of that will be in Necole itself.
I see. Thank you very much for the answer.
No problem. Okay. Any more questions?
Hello, Andrea. It's Sam here. I may have a question.
Yes, you can have a question.
Okay, thank you. It's kind of a general question, I guess, not specifically to any projects, but I would like to know more if there are any sessions that I can like I can meet with the manager. Can I meet with the managers once I've already know my final assignment? You
Yes,
said that you
definitely.
will receive it. Oh, okay. Are there any specific numbers, like I can meet my managers like once a week or like twice a week, or is there are there any concern about that, or it's just free up to me and the managers related to the projects?
Yes, it's really up to you and the managers. I would think that in the first 2 weeks after you got your project this week, next week you most likely meet with them maybe 2-3 times. I would assume that's the best plan, because you would need to really understand the product, or rather the project that you need to do. And then after that, most likely you'll meet with them once a week to just check in and see whether you're moving towards the right direction or not. But it really depends on you and the managers and how they would want to schedule meetings with you, whether they want to check up on you all the time or anything. It would be depending on the managers and yourself.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay, I
but
guess
feel
that's all.
free, yeah, but feel free to reach out to the managers anytime you feel like you're not sure about something. They would welcome you with open arms. Yeah.
Okay. Okay then. Thank you, Andrea.
Cool, Sam. All right. Anybody else has questions?
I have one quick question.
Yes, John.
So based on our previous discussion that we have 3 projects in total, one MED project, one group project, and the other one is individual project. Are we handling all 3 projects at the same time? Wouldn't that be too overwhelming? Like, I don't know.
Okay. Yes, you will be handling all projects at once. I wouldn't say it's overwhelming. I've managed 3 to 5 projects at once and with very tight deadlines. So no, I don't think it's overwhelming. It really will be depending on how you manage your time and your resources. So how you do that is really a test of your capabilities and your efforts, I guess, and how you manage things. And these are questions that you can ask your coaches and mentors, like, okay, I'm dealing with a lot of projects now and I have a lot of milestones to reach, but I'm worried that it's going to be very overwhelming and I feel overwhelmed. So those are things that you can definitely talk to your coaches or your project managers, and they'll be able to point you to some resources to help you to manage those things. I think there's a question for Nadira on the chat, right? Where can I find for? I think Nadira will be sending you guys the mentoring deck, and then you can click it on the PDF itself. Yep.
Yeah.
So in a bit. I hope that answers your question, John.
Yeah. That was really helpful. Thank you.
Yes. All right. Any more questions from anybody? Okay. No. All right. So I'm just gonna leave the room open. If some of you want to talk to me specifically about something, about whether your projects or things that's going on, whatever it is, I'm gonna leave it open so you can just have a chat with me if you need to. If not, for those of you who have no questions and are all set for your projects and submitting those things, go ahead. Just a last reminder, remember to send in your introduction videos. So for some of you who have sent it, very cool. We've been watching it yesterday and today. So that's very fun to watch. Please send in for those who have not. And for those who I think Esther has reached out personally to, please sign your offer letters and send it back to us today, like right now. I think that's all for housekeeping matters. So for those who still want to talk to me or ask me specific questions or want to have a one-to-one with me about the projects, please stay back and then I will answer your questions willingly. All right? Okay? All good? If all good, can you put like a heart reaction on your Zoom? Oh, thank you. I love those hearts. Right. Okay, very cool. I'll see you guys next for the next session. For those who want to stay back, go ahead. I will be here to answer your questions. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Thanks, Dylan.
Thank you.
Bye. All right. Any more questions for those who are here?
Andrea,
Pancha,
can I have
yes.
another question?
Yes, you can have as many questions as you want.
So I want to ask. Okay, I want to ask regarding another project, which is the branding. Develop the Facebook and LinkedIn strategy.
Yes.
So it said that the OKR are number of hits on L.com. I want to confirm L.com is the Leaderonomics main website, or
Leaderonomics.com
is it another website?
Is our content website. Yes. So
I see.
Leaderonomics.com
So
is
I will
content.
be. I see. Okay. Thank you.
Yes, I'm trying to find it on my Airtable. Hold on. Building a Facebook LinkedIn strategy to drive what? To drive Leaderonomics.com traction. Okay, so number of hits on L.com. So basically, we want to see that there is traction coming from LinkedIn and Facebook into L.com.
I see. So building the traffic from the LinkedIn and the Facebook, right?
Yes, correct.
Okay. Thank you.
No problem. Any more questions? Go ahead.
Andrea, can I ask a question?
Yes. Do I address you as Ananda, Dia, or Fadila?
Oh, it's Dea.
Dia. Okay. All right.
So I was wondering, when I see the project, the individual one, some of the skills, for example, like the Indo Develop Weekly series. So it's like we're making like a series of 10 videos, and the required skills is video production. What if we are interested in the project, but we do not have like the necessary skill to to edit and to like create a nice video? Could we seek for like help or assistance in making the video?
Yes, definitely. So just to clarify, the skills column is actually not skill sets that we're looking for. It's more skill sets that you will learn through the projects. So yes, you can definitely reach out to maybe Sashi or even like your fellow interns who do video production and then get them to sort of help you and then you learn it or anything like that. But just bear in mind that you will lead the project, meaning that it is on your plate to do it, right? So can you do it in the 3 months? That kind of question you can ask yourself. But definitely, by all means, leverage people's strengths and reach out to people who you need help from. We'll definitely be helping you in that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. All right, Sam, you have a question?
Oh yeah, I do have some question actually. It's a kind of a general question, I guess. Okay, first, maybe I'll start from the math project itself. You've said yesterday that we've given around 2 weeks to concept our project to find out about the community and what are we going to do about it. Is there any chance that maybe I can execute it by let's say next week or 2 weeks from now? Is it okay, or how can I consult to you? How do I communicate with you about the details of it?
Okay, so I think what you can do is, if you already have a plan in mind, just feel free to either send me an email about it, and then schedule a time with me to talk one-on-one on your MET project. I think that's the
Okay.
fastest way. So I think, yeah, it's either you send me an email about what you've sort of detailed down already, or just go ahead and block my calendar for a one-to-one chat about it. I'm open
Okay.
for that as well. Mm.
Okay, and maybe okay. Thank you about that. Maybe next one, individual about individual project. Is there any chance that we let's say that I take let's say that I get a Necole community building global startup community, and there is other interns that get the same project. Is that possible? In the end, or and is it possible for us to work together so there are two leaders on that same project?
No, because we want each intern to hold accountable to the project. You can definitely leverage on people who are interested in the project,
Okay.
but there is only one leader for each project. Yeah, and the finalization of which project you will be doing, those will be assigned by us eventually. So all the forms that we're collecting is getting understanding on your interests, understanding what you want to do, and then based on some of the skill sets that we're looking for, or we think that this is achievable, then we will assign it directly to the intern for each project.
Okay. Okay, thank you. That's for the individual project. And lastly, for the group project,
Yes.
how many interns get involved in one project?
Let me see. I think, all right. So if you scroll all the way to the side of the Airtable, you'll be able to see
Yeah.
resources, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. So resources
Oh,
meaning how many people is involved in the group project.
oh, okay,
Mm,
okay.
yes.
It's empty on the build and design.
It's empty on the what? You
Build and design, create and deploy virtual
ah.
infrastructure.
Okay. Let me include that now. Let me edit that. It's actually about 3 to 4 people.
Oh, okay.
I think it'll be 3. Yeah, let me edit that now. Thanks for reminding. Hold on. This is a new project that just came in.
Okay.
Okay, right. Any more questions?
I guess that's all. Sorry for being so illiterate, I guess.
No worries. No worries.
Thank you for answering my questions.
Yes, it's good. It's good that you're asking questions now, rather than later. So keep the questions coming, anytime. Yeah, if you have any question, like suddenly you wake up and you're like, I have a question, you can just WhatsApp me directly or onto the group chat. I would answer those questions. So it's
Okay.
better to ask these questions now.
Okay, thank you, Andrea.
Okay, welcome back, Tiffany and Sashi. Did you guys get it sorted?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Any more questions? Rido, Angi, Glenda, Yatanshu.
Yeah, I have a question, Andrea.
I
Can
heard.
Rido go first?
Okay.
Okay,
Yes,
is it
Rido, go ahead.
okay? Thank you. Is there any unwritten prerequisite for each of the project? For example, like the project that is build the nickel business in USA, and should we already have some kind of networking or a business that we know in the USA or something like that?
I don't think there's a prerequisite, but it will be a challenge if you don't know the climate of the country, right? But you have interns who are from the US, so leverage on them. Let's say you are so passionate about building the business in US, you can definitely say, hey, Dylan or like L, can we just sit down and you take me through like what can I expect in the US? I'm doing this project, right? So I don't think there's a prerequisite for it, but think of how do I leverage the strengths of others and how do I get that kind of information fast enough for me to maximize the time I have for the project.
Okay, sounds clear. Thank you, Andrea.
Okay, cool. Yes, somebody was asking a question just now.
Yeah, we have Dia with a question.
Yes. Where's the question, Jump?
We also have Lynn. I'm about to type it out, but yeah, I think you can answer that.
Okay, let me have a look. All right,
In the chat.
right? Yes, you will receive more information. So what is going to happen is once you're assigned to the project, right, you will actually have a one-to-one chat with the project managers. then they will take you through all the information you need, and you will be able to set your own goals and your own KPIs or milestones with these project managers. Yes, so this is just a brief overview on what the key results we are looking at for each project and what are some of the rather tasks that you need to do. But all the other information will be briefed and talked to you about with the project managers themselves. Okay, next question. Okay, so Dia, no, you just need to select an option. So you have 3 options for individual projects, 1 group project, and so yeah, I think Nadira, you answered her 3 projects in total, 1 individual project, 1 group project, and 1 MET project. Yes, correct.
Yeah, it's just, I guess what she was confused is because the options, right? It's just you put your top 3 and then we see which one actually suits you best and which one that we see fit for you too. So it's just your top 3 choices. So it's not like you have to get 3 main individual projects.
Yes. Okay.
Thank you.
No problem.
Michelle, do you have a question? Oh,
yes, I want to ask about the MET project that you mentioned yesterday. And actually, I'm a part of my friend's organization, which called Before 25, and I'm a part of sponsorship staff. And is it count as like I raise funds with them? Is it count as the MET projects, or is a different one?
Depends. So is the raising of the funds already something you are doing? If yes, then no. If it's not something that you're doing, it has to be a new initiative to raise the funds, right? So for example,
okay.
let's say you're not doing any sponsorships now. There's no main project in your organization with your friend. But you say, okay, for my MET project, I want to raise funds for this specific thing in this specific way. And since I already have the organization with me, I'm going to try to utilize and leverage on that. That's possible, but make sure it's a new initiative, not already something that you're currently doing per se. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
No problem. Okay, Sam, I saw your hand.
Okay. First of all, thank you for clarifying about the total of the projects. I also thought that we're going to do 5 projects at once. So yeah, it's kind of
it's possible though. It's possible. I'm not gonna lie.
I know, but it's kind of early for me. Okay. I want to check about. I've already checked the Google Drive, and there is a new file spreadsheet template.
Yes.
LGIP 2021. Is it like a performance review that we have to submit like weekly, or
Yes.
could you please explain it a little bit, please? Thank you.
So I think you're the only one who has saw this track sheet. Yeah, and I'll explain that as well later on this week because I don't want to scare anybody. But basically, this track sheet is for you to track your progress across all the components, right? And like for example, if you go into the projects tab, you'll see that you will have a weekly entry on your own assessment on how you're doing with your projects. Okay, so this is basically just a form to keep track of your weekly performance and what you're doing and how you would evaluate yourself. And this is good for you because then you have time to reflect on, okay, what are some of the things that I need to do, or what are some of the things I can actually let go of. What are some of the milestones that I've set and I've achieved. So this is basically a track sheet to help you progress weekly in all these components, so you can sort of have a consolidated place to reflect and know what are your next steps in the things that you need to do. So for you, right, once since you've already seen it, what you do is you duplicate it in your own Google Drive, and then you key in your own tracking every week. Yeah, so I would always encourage people to do it every end of the week, like every Friday. Once you're done with work, right, just sit down and write all some of the reflections or your own evaluations for all the components that you're going through.
Okay. Okay then. So this is for personal purposes, right? We don't submit it, or
you will submit it. So that means we have access to it to see. The reason why we want to do that is because we want to see if there's any other ways that we may help you in your progress or some of the things that you're struggling with. Then we are able to help you straight away. So you won't submit it until at the end of the internship, of course, when you hand over your entire Google Drive, but we will have to have access to it as we go along.
Oh, okay. Okay. I guess that's all. Thank you, Andrea.
No problem. Glenda says, how we will see what project is before signing or how would you recognize in picking the right coaches as they have specified skills for specified projects? Yes, correct. So the reason why you realize that the deadline is two different deadlines. Projects comes first, coaches comes later. Projects you're supposed to submit today by 8 p.m. our time, which is 7 p.m. in Indonesia. You got to submit the projects first. Then we are trying to sort of assign those projects as soon as possible before tomorrow. And then you go ahead and select your coaches. But think of it this way, right? The way we assign the projects will be depending on mainly two things. Resource-wise, that means how many people are actually very interested in this project. If it's a high competition for this project, then we will have to resort to, okay, who has the most skill sets that is most suitable for the project? Okay, so one is how many people actually want this project, and two is, does this person have the skill sets that is suitable for the project in terms of reaching the OKRs? So that is that. So picking the right coaches, I would say think of it this way. One is for your own personal growth, right? Based on their expertise or their biographies, who do you think would give you the most value? Who would be able to give you the most insight? Yeah. But at the same time, based on their bios, who are you most comfortable to talk to? Okay. So the mentors might be somebody you might not be completely comfortable to talk to, but they have the expertise. But a coach, you should be able to talk to them comfortably because they are not just there for your skill sets. They are there to ask you very tough personal questions to help you grow in that area. Then they can direct you to the person who has the skills that you need. You get what I mean? So mentors are people with expertise. Coaches are people who are supposed to develop and ask you key questions and point you to the right direction for that kind of expertise that you're looking for. Hope that answers your question. Okay, thank you. Okay, all right. Any more questions? Anybody else?
I would like to ask Andrea.
Yes, go ahead.
I think the question that I want to ask is already answered, but I just want to make sure that I was wondering, do we have to take notes or keep track of what we'll be doing each week for like report purposes by the end of our internship?
Yes. So it's the same thing as a track sheet. You should be filling that every week, right? There will be no report that you need to write unless your university requires it. I've not come across any university that requires a report from you, but a report from us, yes. So yes, you just fill up the track sheet and that is sort of your report at the end of your internship.
All right. Thank you.
No problem. Any more questions? Anybody else?
I am pretty curious about the project option boxes. So we have three options that we have to fill in, and that's our priority based on the order that we put in the option boxes.
Yes, correct.
All right. Thank you very much.
So your option one is like, please select me. I want this project so much. Your option three is like, okay lah. If I have nowhere else to go, I'll go here. so that's by priority, correct?
All right. Thank you, Andrea.
No problem. Okay. Any more questions? No. Everybody good? No more questions? If you have any more questions, please WhatsApp or send me an email. I will try to respond as we go along.
I think if I can add, Andrea, just a little bit on the projects, right, guys? So if you're like wondering a little bit in terms of like which projects to choose, or you're not sure if this one is something you can do, I would say think about it this way. This was something that was shared by the founder of AskBee, actually. His name is Jason. AskBee is something that he actually developed during the pandemic, where he came up with this app specifically for tuition to be had online, because he realized that sometimes when students online, they try to message their teacher, it takes forever for their teacher to reply, or doesn't know when to reply or when they're online. So he developed this app specifically for that. So basically he said this, he said that if you want to do something, think about it this way. Are you willing to wake up at 3 a.m. for it to do it? So maybe it's a question you can ask yourself when you're choosing the project. Are you willing to wake up at 3 a.m. to do this project? Is it exciting enough for you to wake up at 3 a.m. to do it? Yeah. So I just leave you with that, so you can consider that. Hopefully one of the projects actually excites you enough to wake up at 3 a.m.
Yeah, that's a good advice, right? What would make you want to do the project? Okay. Any more questions at all? Any thoughts? Any concerns? Anything you guys are feeling like, oh my God, can I actually manage the projects? Or you guys are just panicking? What's going on? Okay, silence means you all are very excited and very challenged to do the projects. I will take it as that. Very good. Yeah.
But yeah, if you do have any further questions, actually, you can just ask any one of us as well. I mean, if it's project specific, especially if you see the managers got like our names on it, then I think if you want to know more, so you can just directly ask us.
Yeah, feel free to use the WhatsApp group lah. I think it's good to also ask questions as a whole, like, you know, in the group chat, because everybody will also get the answers to that. Maybe they are very shy to ask, or they don't know that they are supposed to ask this question. But when you ask that on the group chat, it's like communal learning, right? Everybody gets benefit from the questions itself and the answers. So if you anytime any questions, you don't think about like, oh, is this a weird question or is this a stupid question? There's no such thing. I'm always, and we are always open to any questions. Unless you're gonna ask me what's my cat's name, then you can WhatsApp me directly. If not, just ask on the group chat. We are always open to answer these questions. Okay, all right. All the best. Have fun selecting your projects.
Okay, bye. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Bye. See you later.
Have a great day.
Y'all too. Bye.